Berardi Immigration Law is a great resource for the latest in immigration news and trends. Please be sure to subscribe to our channel. It really helps out the channel. And click that notification bell so you never miss a video from Berardi Immigration Law.
All right, guys, in our last video in the Blanket L series, we talked about how does a company receive Blanket L classification. And now what we're going to discuss is, okay, we've gotten the approval as we are now a Blanket L classified company. How do we get our people here under the L blanket? Well, what we have to do now is get a visa appointment scheduled at a consulate or embassy outside the United States, preferably one that is located in the country of the applicant's citizenship, birth, or residence. And we are going to need to send that individual to an interview at this consulate or embassy so that the officers can be satisfied that this individual indeed qualifies as a manager, executive, or specialized knowledge employee and has a veritable job offer with an affiliated entity in the United States. So the first step is we need to get a visa appointment scheduled. So what will happen is once we get that receipt number from USCIS under the company's blanket classification, we can then use that receipt number to schedule the visa appointment at the embassy or consulate desired, and to then submit through a portal a DS-160 application where we're filling out all the necessary information about the job offered, about the individual, their previous travel, their position outside the United States, and then their position forthcoming in the United States, so that they can be placed in queue for an interview and be scheduled to attend one eventually. In the meantime, what your attorney should be doing, or your business, if you don't have an attorney preparing, is put together a packet of information that does not discuss, again, how the companies are affiliated, how the companies are doing business. That's already been decided by USCIS in the blanket filing. Instead, all they really need to submit is a copy of the L blanket approval notice showing that the entity from which the person is being transferred is listed, as is the entity to which they are transferring, and then provide some detailed information and documentation about how that person has a qualifying role. So at minimum, we want to show that they have at least 1 full year of employment with the company. So this will be 12 months of wages, an annual wage statement, and then some information on how the position itself is a qualified L-1A or for managers or executives, or L-1B for specialized knowledge employees, how that position itself is qualified. So L-1As, if you're a manager, a helpful piece of information to include would be your hierarchical org chart showing that the person has direct reports, not only in the role outside the United States, but also for the role inside the United States. If you are an L-1B applicant, you're going to want to show some definitive evidence that that person really has some heightened understanding of the way that a company does its way of doing business, its products, or other proprietary information central to that company. So things like that would be a resume, training certificates, education documents, and if you have a manual that you use to do your job. If you have patents for the technology you've helped create on behalf of that employer. The list goes on and on. But a very important note for all L-1B applicants who are seeking to obtain their visa directly at the consulate or embassy, that individual absolutely must possess at minimum the equivalent of a U.S. bachelor's degree. If this person does not have the equivalent of a U.S. bachelor's degree, they cannot apply at the consulate. Again, this is just for L-1Bs, not for L-1As, and they must apply the regular traditional route with USCIS. But nevertheless, we assume that everybody has their applications in order. They then take that package and they get a DS-160 confirmation letter, an appointment confirmation letter, and they are then on their way with that package to be able to apply at the consulate or the embassy. In our next video, we are going to talk about it's a day of the interview. What do we do? What do we need? What to expect? And what's going to happen after the interview.
Thanks for watching. Be sure to like our video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and hit that notification button so you never miss one of these important updates. Also, check out the Berardi blog that's on our website at berardiimmigrationlaw.com. The blog is updated 2 to 3 times a week, contains tons of up-to-date information on policies and trends. You won't want to miss it.